This story comes to us from justice.gov. Out of Los Angeles, a former Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy has agreed to plead guilty to a federal felony offense for depriving a 23-year-old man of his civil rights in Compton 3 years ago, 2020. The Justice Department announced. Now listen to what this guy does. In a plea agreement filed in federal court, Miguel Angel Vega of Corona admitted that he falsely imprisoned this victim, engaged in a vehicle pursuit with the victim still unlawfully detained in his vehicle, resulting in a traffic collision that injured the victim, and then filed false reports to cover up the deputy and his partner's unlawful conduct. So they basically unlawfully detain this guy, put him in the back of the police car, then they go on a police pursuit with the guy in the back of the car. Talk about Riggs and Murtaugh. No, it was Vega and Riggs, or I don't know, Vega and Murtaugh. I don't know, man. But then he does false reports to cover up the unlawful conduct. I'm not surprised by that. Most reports are false. Most reports are fabricated. Vega agreed to plead guilty to one count of deprivation of rights under color of law, a crime that carries a statutory maximum sentence of 10 years in federal prison. Vega is expected to formally plead guilty to the charge in coming weeks. So he's agreed to plead guilty. He hasn't yet had his arraignment, I guess, or formal, arraignment. According to the plea agreement on the afternoon of April 13th, 2020, that's before all the riots happened, Vega and his then partner, Christopher Blair Hernandez, were in uniform and on patrol in a LASD vehicle near Wilson Park in Compton as part of their official duties at the LA County Sheriff's Department. Vega and Hernandez saw two young black males, one of whom Vega believed was associated with the street gang, outside a skateboard park enclosed by a tall wrought fence within Wilson Park. They get out of the SUV, they approach the individuals, and they order them to lift their shirts to search for firearms, which the individuals did not possess. They just said, those guys look like street gang members. Hey, lift up your shirt. You got a gun? That's called a Fourth Amendment violation. At this point, from inside the enclosed skate park, the victim, who was identified in court documents as J.A., J. John A. Adam, not his name, but J.A., began yelling at Vega and Hernandez to leave the black males alone. So he's like, hey, leave those guys alone. He's doing a good thing. He's stepping in. J.A. did not threaten Vega or Hernandez or any of the other approximately 10 to 15 people inside the skate park, who likewise did not pose any danger to Vega or Hernandez. Vega began yelling back at J.A., and while they continued exchanging words, Vega challenged J.A. to a fight, according to the plea agreement. Because the LASD, that LA Sheriff's Department, they do hire gang members, it seems like, because some of those deputies are thugs. I'm sorry, but you're a thug. Some of you. Because I've seen the videos where the deputy's like, do you want to say something, man? I'll walk over there right now. I'm thinking, you're a cop? In uniform? And you're acting like that? What happens when the cameras aren't around? So I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I digress. Shortly thereafter, Vega directed J.A. to come to an opening in the skate park fence. Then he grabbed him and confined him in the back of the SUV as Hernandez looked on. Vega detained J.A. in the SUV because he was angry that J.A. had told Vega and Hernandez to leave the black males alone, and he wanted to teach him a lesson, according to his plea agreement. Now, though Vega and Hernandez had ample time to do so, he was not handcuffed, his seatbelt was not secured, he never was told he was under arrest, nor was he informed of his rights at that time. All of this is in violation of LASD policy. Throughout the ongoing false imprisonment, he knew that he and Hernandez did not have any lawful basis to detain J.A., according to his own plea agreement. And it goes down from there. I'm not going to read it anymore. It's pretty lengthy. But the bottom line here is, you got an LASD deputy who challenges this guy to a fight because the guy says, hey, you got no right talking to those black guys like that. And then I'm going to teach him a lesson about cops. Well, now he's looking at deprivation of rights under federal offense.